Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dyer's Cast. I am Russell Song, and with me I have.
Fishman.
When last we left off, Aquans and Jonas had left Vern's Run behind after resting their weary minds and bodies there after their victory over the Court of the Seven. After they left, they decided to retrace their steps more or less towards the plateau that they had gotten them to Vern's Run initially. They went through the dark forest, in which case they had a encounter with a coven of night hags, which was dealt with relatively easily compared to everything else they've had to put up with thus far. And then they returned to the plateau for some much needed rest and relaxation and visiting with relatives.
Yep. Friends and relatives.
Since we basically left more or less off more there, is there
Yep.
anything you want to do while we're on the plateau before we set out again at the end of that?
Well, besides visiting,
Yes.
I'm gonna spend some time making some potions with mom. Nothing that's I'm gonna keep personally, just help her with making some healing potions for the village or whatever, and just spend some quality time.
Yep.
And then I do want to, for us, I would like to make an additional potion of invisibility. And during this downtime, I would like to try and research making that elixir of health powder that I had.
Yeah, so that would be the herbal medicine we found on the plateau originally.
Yeah, that's so long ago now, but I'm down to one dose, and I would like to keep the salve of healing going because it's
Yep.
kind of useful, and I need that.
Well, you can probably research that. It might require you to effectively reverse engineer the medicinal power you have to do so.
Yeah, I kind of figure I'll have to sacrifice my last dose to hopefully, you know,
Hmm.
be able to make new, but we'll see.
Yes. So,
So
you
those are
want
the
to
main things
start
I
there
just.
then?
Uh, sure, why not? We'll start with the elixir of health.
All right.
So I am going to cast enhance ability on myself for this.
All right.
And this is medicine, right?
Yes, it would be.
So that would be a 24.
More than enough to give you for your first success.
All right, woohoo.
All right. So, while we know how this works, this is a skill check challenge, so it's the best of three. So, during your next day, you would roll again. I assume you're continuing with enhanced ability each day.
Oh yeah. A little bit less, but total of 20.
Also good. You're beginning to see the end of the light of this formula, and fortunately, you're beginning to the realization that the medicinal herbs you already have can be used in the creation of it. So the standard medicinal herbs you have. You suspect there is an additional ingredient you haven't figured out yet, though.
All right, next day.
Yep.
Oh, that's also really good. 22.
I'm betting you wish you could roll like this for potions.
Tell ya. All those times I was trying to make superior potions, I would have had three by now.
All right. So, in addition to this, so that completes your research. In
Yep.
addition to the standard herbal medicinal herbs that you always use for medicinal purposes and the brewing of healing potions,
Yep.
you are going to need to find an additional herb. Basically, any herb that has antitoxin or anti the septic or disease medicinal purposes for that, like fighting off venom or disease, would be necessary. But you'll need to find that and mix it together with your current herbs, and you know a few off the top of your head that would actually work.
I'm gonna talk to mom,
Yeah,
and there's also an apothecary in town, right?
I think it's her. Well, there's a general store.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if she has any suggestions because I do. Sorry, I'm going through all my stuff here. It's so many things. Yeah, currently I don't have any herbs for just like beyond my basic ones for making healing potions. So, does she have any suggestions or anything for sale or just to give to her son?
All right. Well, with that roll, she doesn't have any on her at the moment. She does know of a few that can be gathered on the plateau.
All right. I will load her up on the broom.
Then you're going to go herb gathering.
Yeah, well, she needs to learn how to practice how to use it anyway. So I'll let her steer. I have Featherfall prepared just in case.
You have supreme confidence in her ability to steer this magical artifact you've given her.
Yeah. Well, so we're gonna go do that.
Okay.
Would this be survival?
All right, you don't crash,
Hey!
but it's not a smooth ride.
No. Well,
It would be your choice of probably survival or nature,
no, I have survival.
or possibly investigation if you want. But the
Well,
DC will be higher.
that doesn't matter. I'm
Okay.
gonna I'll roll as if it were I mean I have survival, so
Yeah.
I'm wasting all the good numbers, I tell you.
On down.
Have survival. Survival is intelligence.
Wisdom.
Wisdom, oh, so a little not so good. 20.
20 is still perfectly fine. All right. So in your throughout the day, you're able to gather enough for 4 bushels of these basically
Bushels?
sorry, not well, bundles, I guess would be the
All right.
best word.
It's like a big basket about this size and this deep.
No. All right. Yeah, speak behind the curtain. I don't know exactly all the herbal terminology for this.
Yeah, well, it's a long time since people use the word bushel.
Yeah.
4 bunches.
Yeah, so these would be basically uh, anti-venom or basically, yeah. Herbs are treating disease and venom, which we write it down as.
All right.
And if you mix that together with your current medicinal herbs you have, you
Yeah,
can refine it to make this powder.
cool. The
So,
other thing I want to do is
yes,
I have 2 potions of invisibility, one of which I'm going to give to you.
yes.
So you can put that on your character sheet. But I would like to keep a spare, so I
You
would
want to make
like
another one.
I want to try and make another one, yes.
Okay,
So this will be the last thing I'll do before we head out.
okay. And then we'll get over to my stuff.
Yeah. What's the DC for this?
20.
Oh, here we go. Burning some luck.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Got it on the third roll. So 1 point of luck is burnt.
Okay. 1 point of luck on a day, you're probably not going to use any more of it. Yeah.
All right. So that potion I will give to you.
Okay. So it takes you a little while to get back into making this potion because it has been some time since you last made one.
No, not that long. I don't think. Picked up the
Long enough that you're a little rusty, but nevertheless, you are able to produce one and you give it to me for later use.
Yep. That way, you know the reasons. That
Yeah.
way we don't have to don't have to concentrate on being invisible
Yeah.
while we're concentrating on something else. There we go. Spit
All
it
right.
out finally.
So I, on the other hand, am going to the days you're doing that, I'm going to work a little bit on some scrolls and some materials. But the first thing I want to do is because, as you've just uh, said, we've decided to leave our brooms of flying here for the people of the plateau. In the event of an emergency, this might help them get off the plateau, or at least our loved ones get off the plateau in a bit of a hurry. Because Just for those who forget, Bree is currently in Ulrich, as far as we know, and is working with the Court of the Seven, and has intimate knowledge of the plateau and its defenses, or lack thereof.
Compared to even her. Yeah.
Yeah. And a force much stronger than the one that Zorik brought to the plateau is becoming more and more of a possibility for invading here.
Hopefully not,
Yeah.
but yeah, we should be prepared.
That being said, considering we're leaving those behind, we are losing our main source of magical flight.
Yeah.
So one of the first thing I'm going to be doing on this day is I'm going to be taking some of the ink and paper I have, and I'm going to transcribe fly from your spell book into mine because you
Cool.
have the fly spell,
Yep.
and now I think it's a good idea that we both have it.
Never cast it.
No, but without the brooms, if we want to fly, that will be one of our choices. We also have polymorph, but I see no reason not to have both spells.
Yeah.
No.
There's no harm in it.
All right, so that cost me 150 gold pieces worth of ink and paper and 6 hours of the first day. But because I'm copying it from your spell book, there's no roll involved.
Yep. Okay.
All right, so probably we'll want to add a few more scrolls to our repertoire here and possibly get some materials before we head out.
Well, I've just burned almost a week here doing stuff, so during that time you can mix up some more paper and ink.
Well,
And
I currently still have 600 gold pieces worth of ink and paper left that I have not used, so I think I'm going to start with some scrolls.
all right.
One scroll that's been coming in very handy lately is a fourth level magic missile scroll that I've been using quite a bit. So I think I'm going to try and make another one of those with
Yeah, go
enhanced
for it.
ability to enhance my spellcasting ability, intelligence.
Yeah, definitely go for it.
Those are two very middle of the road rolls. However, with my +5 intelligence, I think that's just enough.
We only need to make a 9.
Hmm?
You only need to roll make a 9.
No, the number I have to hit is 14, not 9.
No, all you need to roll is a 9.
Yes, well, I have a 10 here, which is
Oh,
the
there you
highest
go.
number I rolled.
Yeah. You also could have, rolled your portents for the day.
I technically still have some here from the last time, so it's
Yeah.
fine. That's going to require us taking a lot of time here. So I'm just going to go off to save time. I'll use the last two I rolled for portents for this.
Okay.
A little bit of downtime. All right. And that takes 200 of that off. All right. So that takes care of the magic missile scroll.
Yep.
So during your third day of your research, I'm going to probably work on another one because I still have some materials left over.
Yep.
All right, what would I want to make next? Well, I have enough materials here for another fourth level scroll. Well, two more fourth level scrolls technically. So I think I'm going to try and make a scroll of ice storm just to add to our firepower a little bit.
All right.
Much better.
Keep the last few pages just in case something comes up. I do have a bunch as well, I suppose, but
All right, that's another 200 gold pieces worth of ink and paper gone. That's how much I have left. So while you're out searching for herbs, I think I'm going to search for materials that I can make into the ink and paper like we did the first time
yeah,
we were on the plateau to replenish my supplies a little bit.
there we go. It's old home week. We're getting in touch with our roots.
Yep. All right then. So I'm going to search. Well, basically, I assume the lake for that.
Yeah, around. Well, unfortunately, we did not put up the graphics for the plateau, but
No.
that's okay.
All right. Well, continuing to use enhance ability with my investigation. That's a total of 23.
Yeah. So what does that give you in actual quantities of papyrus?
Well, that's going to be the second roll here. I'm going to see how much of this I can process now.
Yeah.
All right, that's a 21. I rolled a d8 to see how much was good. I rolled an 8.
There you go.
So I get back 400. I get back everything well, not everything I used, but
Yeah.
basically after the only thing, basically the two scrolls have been paid for effectively. The flight spell copy down was the only thing really that I'm down by.
Cool. And when I get back, I will help you make the ink.
Yeah. Well, I was all taking care of that. So there we go. All
All right.
right. At which point, I think we need to cut it
Say our
in, put it
goodbyes
in.
and get going.
Yes. We need to actually get on with our adventure here.
All right. I'm gonna ask my mom one more thing before I head out. Ask her how she's doing financially, if she needs any money.
All right, let's see how they're doing quite well, apparently. Mostly because she's been taking over all of the healing and medicinal needs on the plateau since Gregor is no longer here.
Yeah.
Yeah, effectively the Church of Mithras or whatever has kind of shut down because well, all of the members are either dead or exiled.
Yeah. What are they doing with the church now? Anyway, what's had that building there?
For the most part, they've been using it. They're just leaving it empty, basically. They've been any supplies in there were basically repurposed,
Yeah.
but they mostly it's just an empty building at this point. They haven't really decided what they're going to do with it.
Well, in truth, it's only been a little while. We left at the end of summer last year, and it's the spring of
It's
this year.
spring now,
Hmm?
and and we're approaching mid-spring,
Yeah. So, we've only been gone a little over half a year.
almost a full year at this point.
Well, not till the fall. Anyway, it's only spring. Let's not worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, say goodbyes.
Yep.
Lots of hugs and kisses and stuff. And well, I have this new 10th level ability, so
Oh,
might.
you want to keep showing that off,
Well, yeah. I mean, we have to get off the plateau. I mean, it's either that or Featherfall.
which is how we did it originally. We no
Yeah,
longer have our brooms.
this is much more interesting.
Yep. Slash possibly terrifying for some of them.
Yeah, well, I'm going to polymorph into a giant eagle,
Yep.
give my mom a quick ride around, and then we're gonna head off.
All right. So I climb on your back and we fly off the plateau
Yep. Heading north and
west.
slightly west.
Yeah. So we're going to be heading northwest towards the Elven Lands.
Yeah. Well, because we don't want to, well, basically fly all the way there and be there in a few hours.
No, there's no urgency at the moment. The only
No.
thing we know is that apparently the island of Dracomir, which is that island you see surrounded by that lake near the Elven Lands,
Yep.
apparently the court has a facility there. It's not too far from Ulrich's, and it is technically outside the lands the elves consider their domain. And it is relatively close to the plateau, so that is our main concern, but we have nothing but rumors.
Yes. And we just finished rather grueling time in Vern's Run. So
Yes.
a little bit of walking and enjoying nature would be good for us.
Yes.
All right, so I just fly far enough that um gets us off the plateau and out of sight, and then I'll land and become me again, and we can start hiking.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, the terrain north of the plateau is rolling hills and woodlands.
Yes, the that's basically what the majority of the terrain around the plateau is just in general. So that's going to
Hmm.
continue for at least a little bit.
All right, then let's wander off.
All right, so it's going to roll. So we make it through our first day of travel from the plateau, which is probably going to setting out without any real incidents, and then we sat down for camp.
All right, let's not be lax.
Okay,
Let's set up the camouflaged hut and set
and
up,
alarms and watches and familiars.
yeah, all our usual stuff. Especially now that my familiar is back to being an owl.
Okay. Yes, you
Uh,
did reverse that the last time we played.
have her perch in a tree like owls do at night anyway.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the world.
All right, why don't you take first watch then?
All right, it'll do so. Oh, there's a waste of a natural 20.
All right. Well, with a natural 20, your owl, with its very, very keen eyesight, sees in the distance, like quite the distance,
Yeah.
what looks like the flickering of fire and smoke in the distance.
In the direction that we're going, or
Yes, it's in the same relative direction. It's not like a straight line or anything, but
um, well, I'm awake.
yeah.
I tell her to fly up, head towards the flickering lights, and then come back. I
All right.
will focus on her senses as she's getting closer.
There are a couple more things you're able to think through as this goes through. You suspect on foot it's quite the distance. We'd probably have to spend the at least a better part of the march the next day to even reach this place. So
Right.
that's several hours away on foot. Not very far, though, for an owl to fly.
No.
The other thing you notice is in your owl senses is something that she couldn't quite understand, but you're able to think through as you're watching. There
What's that?
is a it's a relatively clear starlit night, but there is a cloud in the distance, which is quite that looks out of place.
Hovering over these lights?
No, it's just in the distance. It's in the
Okay.
sky, and it's moving.
Yeah. Clouds move.
Clouds move, usually with the wind, though.
This one's going against the wind.
Well, there isn't a very strong wind, and this one does seem to be moving at a quicker pace than you expect normally.
Is there a human fencing with a few halflings and they see the cloud and coming towards them?
No,
Okay. This is not a cloud made up of
of birds,
birds.
no. The only
Uh,
bird, as far as you're aware, with a natural 20 is yours.
all right. Have her keep heading that direction. And keep
Your
watching.
owl heads in that direction, and eventually you're able to see through her senses what it is. It looks like a caravan, basically.
Okay. And what about the cloud?
It's a cloud, as far as you can tell.
Okay. There's a
It's
cloud
yeah,
over a caravan.
it's not over the caravan.
Okay.
The reason it stood out is it looks much more solid than the other wispy kind of clouds, like trace clouds you can see here. Like
Okay.
it looks like a more serious one, almost like one that would have rain in it, or possibly thunder or lightning.
Moving against the wind.
Yes, like I said, there isn't a lot of wind to begin with.
Right. Which way is the cloud moving?
Um, kind of in the direction towards us, and therefore, yes, the camp.
Okay. So she flies over the camp, and it is indeed a caravan of.
Just travelers and merchants, but you do see that some of them have armed guards.
Well, yeah, they want to keep their stuff
Yes.
handed out to bandits and whatever else.
One of the guards spots your owl.
Okay.
Hmm.
Hopefully he's not bored and wants to shoot at her.
He calls over to one of the other, basically, then others and points out to your owl to them. And I want you to roll a perception check based on this.
22.
22 has more than enough. They're not really whispering.
No.
This it says uh, it says never really seen one of these up close before. It says, can you get any good meat off of them if you shoot one?
I'm gonna have my owl shake his head.
They seem to be going back and forth about this moment. One of the he's saying that they could use the food. He says, "Oh, use a bit more food on a road." The other one saying, "You're not going to get much food off of an owl."
All right, so they're nothing doing. They're not really doing anything out of the ordinary, right?
No, this looks like they're doing the same thing we are, just without any magic.
Okay. Well, my instructions to the owl were to fly over the camp and then head back.
All right, so your owl is finishing its loop and heading back.
Yep. And a bored and or hungry night watch guy has
Has a
got a
short
bow.
bow.
And is he aiming at my owl?
No, he's take not yet. He has taken notice of the fact that your owl has basically done a loop from going back, and he seems confused by that at the moment.
Okay. Doesn't seem unusual owl behavior.
He seems to have noticed something about it. That's all. That's all you can really tell.
Well, in short order, the owl's gonna be well out of bow shot range, especially short
Yes.
bow.
He just does say nothing really happens.
Okay.
Apart from the fact you seem to have thoroughly confused this guy.
Once I'm pretty sure that the owl's out of, you know, sight,
Range.
it won't take long because it's
Yeah.
dark.
And short bows, I think, have an effective long range of 300 feet, and even then, he's shooting at disadvantage.
Yeah. I'll just have her pop out of existence and
Yep.
repop into the tree.
All right.
So nothing of interest there.
A caravan full of people and some sort of mysterious cloud.
A mysterious cloud heading against the wind. Was it heading towards them? Like it hadn't got there yet?
It's heading in the same. Again, it's not like it's like a bird of prey and it's going dive bombing them or anything,
No.
but it's heading in the same general direction as them. And yeah, it's also possibly heading toward the same direction as us.
Okay. I will, once my owl's back here, give her the instructions of keep an eye on where those lights are coming from.
Yeah, you want to keep or to keep watch on the campfire, basically.
Yep, just keep an eye on them. And I know it's a long way off, but maybe something will happen with that cloud. Maybe flashes of lightning or something. I don't know.
All right. The rest of your watch goes by uneventfully.
All right. I wake you up. I fill you in on the exciting evening I had,
Yep.
and I'll go to sleep.
All right. My turn.
Yep.
All right. My watch goes by uneventfully.
Okay. So nothing else happened with that caravan during the night.
Nothing that I noticed.
Nothing that my owl noticed.
You can roll a perception check for owl.
Just getting a little sleepy, I guess. 13.
Uh, Yeah, nothing of note really.
All right, get up, make breakfast, scratch off a day's worth of food because we have to keep track now,
Yes, we do.
and start heading northwest again. Well, northwest.
Yes, we resume our travel
Yep.
for the day. All right. So since it's in the same general direction, do you want to stop by where we saw that caravan? Well, where you
I
saw
see
that caravan?
no reason not to. They did not seem, I don't know, threatening or unusual in any way, but
No, they looked like a traveling caravan, probably of merchants with some hired guards.
I assume that they were on a road.
They pulled off the side of a road, yes.
So I know by the direction of the carriages and the horses and stuff what direction they're heading in.
Roll intelligence check.
13.
Um, uh, Probably the best guess you would have is south.
So they'll be heading towards us.
Yes, or possibly depending on, well, they're following the road. We're not on a road at the moment.
No, but they're at least heading roughly in our direction.
Yep.
All right. I'm all flap high. Keep an eye out for possible caravan. We can change our direction if we spot them.
Right. Uh, Roll your perception check for your owl.
21.
All right. Your owl spots the caravan.
Cool.
It is not where it was. It is,
Oh yeah. I assume they got up and they're moving.
yeah, it's on the road, and they are moving indeed at considerable speed.
Unusual speed.
Faster than they would need to if they were just traveling along the way a caravan normally would.
All right, I'm gonna look through her eyes.
Yeah.
Are they whipping these horses into a frenzy because they're trying to get away from something?
Um, from that roll, you can see that they are basically whipping the reins a fair bit. There are three caravan. They're basically three carts. Are basically
Yep,
are uh, being pulled. Each is being pulled by a team of two horses,
yep,
and each of them has a driver,
yep.
and each of them has one of the guards you saw in the
Hmm.
previous night with their bows out and looking drawn, and you see the rearmost uh, cart in the caravan, which has a basically a cover to it.
Yep.
That the tarp over that covering has been torn somewhat.
Okay.
However, you don't see any obvious aggressor at the moment.
Okay. 1 second. Someone wants in.
Okay.
Yeah, come on in. Probably want out in 2 minutes anyway, but
Uh, your best guess from that is that they were attacked by something, but it's not there at the moment.
how far away from us are they?
Let's see. All right. All right. The camp spot. Hello, Tobias. The spot where they set up camp would have been about a good 6 hours walk from where we were when we set up camp.
Yep.
We've been traveling probably for about an hour at this point,
Yep.
and they looks like they may have obviously gotten up before we did
Yeah.
and gotten into some trouble.
Okay. So they've had what, a couple hours head start on us.
Probably, and they're moving faster than us. The problem is they are now on a road, which is effectively going almost parallel to us.
Can we at a trot intersect them?
It's possible, but we're either going to be have to divert and move relatively quickly. It's possible though. All
All right, let's do that.
right. This is going to probably require constitution checks from us.
Well, good thing we're very fairly good at that sort of thing. That's my pen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to contest this with the constitution of their horses.
All right. I don't know if I have the constitution of a horse.
All
Ooh, especially with that roll.
right. What did you roll?
I have a 12.
I have a 14. All right. What is the constitution of a horse? All right.
You're stepping on the keyboard now.
I couldn't even see you for that.
Yeah, I know.
All right. The horses
Yep.
rolled an 8.
Oh, so we are going to catch up. Well, intercept, I should say.
Yeah. Basically, they also seem to be slowing down a little bit because, well, whatever trouble they were dealing with
Yep.
seems to have abated for the moment, and they can't push the horses at breakneck speed for so long.
Oh,
No.
not very long at all. So not like it's not like in these Western movies that they used to have where they're riding full tilt for hours and hours.
Hmm.
Horses don't do that.
No,
No, not live anyway.
no. And I just have a feeling that a traveling caravan cares a great deal about their horses.
Oh yeah, because they no horses, you have to get out and push.
Yes. And
Okay.
based on probably the amount of materials we suspect that they're carrying in these caravans, they would never be able to carry them all themselves on foot.
All right, so we get to the road before they cross.
Yes, we manage it. We're a
All right,
little winded because those were not the best rolls.
all right. We'll try and catch our breath and not look like we're anxious, tired, or been running after them by the time they get here. We'll
Or
start.
bandits, I imagine. It's another thing we want to not look like.
Yeah, so we can stroll towards them.
All
All right.
right. So we come up to them and they are still moving at a much more leisurely pace at this point.
Yep.
And what do you want to say to them?
I'm gonna say, hello there, fellow travelers.
All right, time for a general charisma check with my
This is
assist
where it goes south.
with my assistance.
Oh, well, your assistance made all the difference.
All right.
Uh, 18.
18. That's very good, even with your
Right.
-1.
Amazing.
All right. You can tell that they've had a stressful morning,
Yeah.
but they seem to be calming down at this point.
Cool.
Says, well, we've had a relatively this is strenuous morning. Says our we were making camp and we're breaking camp and leaving in our caravan to resume our travels, and we were attacked by creatures out flying out of the sky at us.
Creatures?
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna just see how well informed these people are. Well, for a roll that had absolutely no modifiers on that, that's a natural 14.
Woohoo!
Yes. After a bit of discussion, they said they were they looked like creatures that were part bird and part woman. It says I've heard tale of creatures called harpies. I think they might have been them.
Oh,
It says
okay.
according to all the stories I've heard, they enjoy stealing food from travelers. It says and they attacked our. He points back to the third. Says our supply wagon where we kept most of our provisions.
Okay.
It says fortunately they didn't. We were had some guards here with bows, and we were able to fend them off.
Excellent. So always nice to know what we can expect as we proceed in that direction.
One of the guard in the rear caravan, which is the one that was attacked, says I swear they seem to come out just out of nowhere. It says there was nothing around for miles as far as I can tell. It says apart from that strange cloud. It says the leader of the caravan says not with the cloud again. It says,
Okay.
you recognize the guy in the back, the guard, is the same one who spotted your owl.
I'll try and control myself.
He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. Your owl just confused him, but he seems to be slightly more perceptive or aware than the others,
Yeah.
based on the dice rolls.
Well, my owl's flying above us.
He's not paying attention to the owl at this point.
Okay.
But that might change depending how this conversation goes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I say, well, you seem to have gotten out of that without any real harm to yourselves. That's great. Where are you guys heading?
It says, we're heading south along this road as opposed to the main road because of troubles in Vern's Run. It says, though I do hear those are ending, it says we're probably going to try and make it towards Lyria or one of the other towns. We might have no choice but to head to Vern's Run to resupply, unfortunately.
Yeah, I heard the same rumors. Apparently, they had some trouble with some, I don't know, gods. No, sorcerers. I don't know. You hear these rumors, and sometimes you just wonder if people are making them up just to be able to tell a tall tale.
So you're playing the ignorant traveler at the moment. Well, that sounds like a deception check.
Yeah. Ah, four.
9 on this end. Says, yes, something to that effect.
Oh well. Have yourselves a good day, gentlemen. We are
Yeah.
gonna move on.
All right. So we pass by each other. As the third car goes by, the guard says, I don't know why no one pays attention to me. Says bunch of flying creatures, strange cloud. It says an unusual owl in the night. It says you
Have my
start.
owl fly down, land on my shoulder, and I'll look at him and says, "That was an odd cloud, but my owl's nice, thank you." Walk away.
I gotta roll a reaction. um, he seems to give you almost a conspiratorially wink in the way the fact that he seems to be understanding that not everyone here is quite as ignorant as he thinks they are, and also he's now sees that there's maybe someone who believes him a little bit.
Cool.
You're also pretty sure he has no earthly idea of what to make of all this any more than he did before, though.
That's fine.
And I said, so, harpies, possibly.
He's coming out of a cloud.
Yes, you did mention that cloud.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
Well, yes, and you mentioned that as well last night. So maybe
Yes.
we should look around for that?
Well, we got a familiar here who flies.
Yep.
I will have her fly and have a look. Someone's taking an interest in my dice again.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Perception check.
Yes.
I need these for a second. Hold on. Ah, it's only an 11.
All right. Well, that might have been not enough were not the fact that once again it is a relatively clear day.
So is there actually a cloud in the sky still in this area?
Not the same area. It seems to have moved on a little bit.
All right.
However, one can I just have you roll an intelligence check, please?
12.
All right. It's difficult to tell, but you think the cloud is relatively in the same shape you saw remember it last night.
But the fact that it's in the same area roughly
Yes.
means it's not a cloud which just goes by. It's a cloud that seems to have charted a course.
Yes. And also, you're being eclipsed by a cat.
Yes, I know. As much fun as that is,
Yeah.
he needs to be out of the way.
Yes.
All right. So we have a cloud that flies around, spits out harpies every now and then, and doesn't seem to dissipate or head off into the horizon.
Or change its relative shape, and it seems to only be slightly further north than it was yesterday.
But we know where it is.
Yes, we can see it.
Like, how far away is it walking?
Uh, well, we made a bit of a detour here,
Yeah.
but we probably could get there there if you want to push ourselves a little bit. We can get there before we have to camp. If not, we'll probably have to wait till tomorrow.
All right. I could do the giant eagle thing when we get there faster.
We could. Do you think this merits that?
Yeah, I think so. This is interesting.
All right.
We're out here to explore and find out stuff.
Yes.
And it is, for all intents and purposes, not at all resource intensive.
Yeah.
This is something I can do once a day. So, giant eagle it is. I'll lend some of my all,
Yep.
and
I climb on your back.
I'll fly towards the cloud.
Yes. All right. So, needless to say, this is much quicker than walking.
Oh yeah.
So, in short order, we reach the general area we think the cloud is in, and you can move ahead an image.
Okay.
All right. So this is what the general area looks like that we're heading towards.
Okay. It's a road
It's a road.
through, well, rolling hills and woodlands.
Yes. At the top there, as you can tell, it kind of forks off there.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
Now that I'm closer and I have eagle vision, what's this cloud look like?
Roll a perception check with advantage because you have keen sight as a giant eagle.
Natural 20. There we go.
Natural 20.
What a waste.
It is definitely in a very similar shape to what you remember from last night.
Yeah.
But the other thing that is odd, it's almost not quite perfect, but it's almost squared, almost in shape.
It's a square cloud.
Not perfect because it's not flat, and it's not even because it is the edges of a cloud, but that is the general shape it brings to mind.
Well, clouds are three-dimensional. Is this
Yeah.
cubic shaped?
No, it's not quite cubic because it's not the same dimensions for its height or width.
All right. Seeing how I can't communicate to you at all,
Yeah.
I just fly up towards it.
All right. You notice one other thing with your natural 20.
What's that?
It looks like there's uh basically from below another basically cart coming up to this wooded area here along the road.
Okay.
And there are humanoids getting out with axes.
Okay.
And they see,
Woodcutters?
sorry?
Woodcutters?
Well, there's nine of them, and they might very well be woodcutters, but they're not human.
Oh, okay. What species?
Uh, you rolled a natural 20, but I still would like you to roll a nature check for this because this is something different.
Do I have nature when I'm a bird?
Just roll your intelligence check.
What's my intelligence as a bird? Four? Three?
Giant eagles are more intelligent than that.
I rolled a four.
Well, they're not that intelligent. Oh, you have a -1 intelligence. So you have a 3.
I have a three. A little bit
At this
smarter than a
distance,
cabbage.
you don't quite can't quite make it out, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right.
Not human.
All right.
And they seem
I'm
to be
more
going over towards those trees.
well, I'm more focused on this cloud at the moment anyway,
Yes,
so
that's the other thing you notice. Your eagle-style brain at the moment, with its hunter's instincts, seems to think that this cloud has spotted them too.
okay. The cloud has spotted them.
It's starting to move toward. It's changing its movement and is moving towards this group of
It
this.
is ignoring this giant eagle with a human, well, you're not human, with a humanoid riding on his back.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna keep flying towards the cloud.
Well,
See,
now you're moving towards a moving target
okay,
because it is moving with some speed.
faster than a giant eagle?
No, but you basically you can see there's like a wind now blowing against it.
Okay. Well,
That is propelling it along, and it seems to have come out of nowhere almost. Or at least this stronger wind has come out of nowhere.
well, I'm gonna head that direction anyway.
Yep. At which point, as we are heading that way, the cloud starts to rain
Okay.
in a curtain of it.
Okay.
And it's again, it's heading straight for this area where the cart is, and with these woodsmen.
Okay. So I don't see, things dissolving on the ground as this acid rain goes by or
No, it's
anything.
not acid rain.
All right.
All right. So we're not doing it, not altering our course or doing anything.
Well, I'm heading towards the cloud,
Yeah.
which is heading towards the cart.
Yeah.
We're all going to converge at some point.
Yes. Well, you notice one more thing with that natural 20 perception check.
And what's that?
Well, this curtain of rain
Yeah.
seems to continue, and as it passes over, something very, very, very odd happens.
The cart disappears.
No, but some of the humanoids who were taking the axes to chop down trees
Yeah.
are caught in the rain, and suddenly it's almost like a reverse waterfall, and they're being pulled up it.
You're caught in a tractor beam.
Well, they're caught in a curtain of rain that seems to be pulling them upwards as it goes down.
Okay. Well, I'm not dumb enough to go into that rain.
No.
So
Wow. Uh, I just rolled six saving throws for them.
Yeah.
Five of the six of them that moved away from the cart are being pulled up. The sixth individual manages to get free and is running towards the cart where the three others are.
Okay.
The other five are being pulled up at considerable speed up into the air.
All right. I am going to try and um well, not but without going underneath the cloud where the rain is.
Yeah.
I'm going to try spiraling higher and try to, keep an eye on where they are. He's back.
Yep. All right, let's just have a dexterity check for that.
Man, hold on. I gotta move a bunch of dice before they all land on the floor. Yeah. Oh, you can't help. Maybe you should have helped. What's the dexterity of an owl?
Of an eagle?
Doesn't matter. Roll a three.
All right. Yeah, that doesn't, at that point, it doesn't really matter. You have to move Tobias again, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, so the one bit of good news is you aren't this curtain of rain that's pulling them up isn't basically faster than you are as a giant eagle, your fly speed.
Sorry, he ran off with a dice.
Yeah, that is very distracting. The bad news
Okay,
is
I'm gonna think about it. Let's go.
okay.
Let's go. Come on. Get out. There we go. As entertaining it is, he is getting in the way.
Yes.
Okay.
The bad news is that was a low roll.
Yes. A three isn't going to cut it, I'm sure.
No. So you cannot get close enough to maintain a watchful eye on this without getting too dangerously close to the curtain of rain yourself.
I don't really want to do that,
That's you
so I guess
basically you avoid it, I assume.
yeah.
They all five of them disappear up into the cloud.
Well, I can't communicate with you.
No.
I'm gonna keep spiraling up.
All right. It may be of interest to both of us that the cart
Yeah.
has pulled the remaining individual into it and are trying to leave quite in a quite a hurry.
Okay. That's fine. The cloud is more interesting than they are.
The cloud is pursuing them.
Okay.
All right, so as we climb up higher and higher,
Yep.
eventually you are going to be able to fly high enough to get a look at the cloud. A much
Yeah.
closer look.
Yes. That's the intent.
Yes. At which point you see the fact that it is indeed square shaped in general.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's odd about it is on top, it is flat.
Okay.
And there are things
Up
on this
there.
cloud.
Hmm?
And there are things on this cloud.
Castle?
You can move ahead to the next image if you want. You got to look.
There is a castle up here. Hmm. All right. Gonna miss that one
Yes.
nest of harpy eggs or whatever.
So there is, yes, this is what you see from above.
Okay.
There is indeed a relatively square shaped cloud. Not perfect.
No.
And in the center of it is indeed a castle.
Does it actually have a motor? Or is that just land underneath there like a hole?
No, that looks like water. In fact, that's relatively where the curtain of rain was coming from.
All right. Um,
There are also some rocky peaks which are sticking out of the clouds. And
yeah.
yes, your eagle eyes can see nests.
All right. Do I see anything other than what I see in this picture?
Roll a perception check.
14.
14. All right. You see a couple things. The first thing that catches your eye in those nests, there are creatures looking out of them, and they're looking towards the castle and the moat,
Yeah.
and they do fit generally what the description you heard before,
Harpies?
which is of harpies.
Yeah.
And yes, they seem to inhabit all three of those nests.
Okay.
The next thing you notice is there are five humanoids swimming in the treading water and swimming in the moat.
Same humanoids. I just got sucked up.
Yes.
Okay.
From this uh, uh, from this distance and with that roll, you can now discern, even with your limited intelligence in this form, that these are orcs.
Okay.
The other thing you notice is some flying creatures coming out of off of the castle
Okay.
and heading towards the moat.
Are they harpies or are they something else?
They are something else.
Okay. Has anybody noticed us?
Well, I'm going to ask you to roll a stealth check, and I'm going to just roll a stealth check on your back with advantage, I think. And then we'll see. Well, I have a natural 20.
Well, yeah, you can just bury yourself in feathers.
Yeah.
Uh, what's the dex of an owl? Sorry, an eagle. Actually, I know what that is. Hold on a sec.
Plus
Dexterity.
3.
Now, why didn't I write that down? Because I wrote it down for. Anyway, I
Right.
have it written down because it's something I can turn into now.
Plus 3.
So that would be a 16 for stealth.
All right. So, we do see these other creatures.
Hmm.
They are have wings.
Yeah.
Uh, they don't have feathered wings. Their wings are more bat-like.
Okay.
Or they would be bat-like if it weren't the fact that they resemble stone statues that are flying.
Gargoyles?
We can each roll an Arcana check if you want.
I don't have Arcana anymore.
Intelligence for you then.
Well, I'm not even breaking 10 with that then.
Oh, I also rolled low. So that's a 12 for me.
Well, I think it's time to try and
They resemble stone, like almost like stone statues of a relatively fiendish appearance with horns and claws. But
yeah,
yeah,
gargoyles.
yes, that's what we think they are.
Okay, I'm gonna fly towards the castle.
And they have definitely spotted you.
Yeah, I'm flying towards them.
Yeah. A few of them have broken off from the group that are going down towards the moat and are flying up towards you. They don't see me yet.
Okay,
All right. Let's see. How many would be sent out for this? All right. There were five of them heading out towards the moat. Two of them have broken off and are flying up towards you at this point.
okay. They're gonna get a surprise.
All right. What are you going to do? All
At the moment, I'm not. I'm flying towards the castle. That's
right.
my.
You're flying towards the castle. They
Yeah,
are on an intercept course.
I will try and evade them
Yep.
and
This is
continue
going
on
to
to the
be a
castle.
dexterity contest.
Yeah, and if I can't evade them, I assume that they're going to be hostile. But you never know. All right, dex check for an owl. Oh, sorry, for an eagle.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really bad rolling here. I need more. I need better dice.
And I suppose I should roll a check to see if I can hang on.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the best roll of these.
I rolled a 12.
So did I. The gargoyles rolled a 6. They're made of stone. They don't maneuver very well, apparently.
Ah, cool. So I evade them easily, and
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I fly faster than they do.
Yes.
I think my movement's 80.
Their
Yes.
movement is not that quick.
I have a fly of 80, so I'm gonna keep ahead of them.
They also have to turn around and come back towards you, but they are doing that.
All right.
They still do not seem to see me yet.
Okay. I'm going to land on the battlements here. This is I assume, a way of getting in.
There isn't
Uh,
a drawbridge there that looks like a way in. It's up, unlike where the image is, though.
yeah, I'm gonna land right up here.
All right, so you land on the battlements.
Yep.
You can see below that the remaining gargoyles,
Yep.
each of them has picked up one of the struggling orcs
Yep.
and is carrying them towards the castle. There are still two there who are somehow trying to figure out which way of this moat in the sky they should be swimming towards.
Yeah.
And right, the gargoyles spot them. Let's see which one they decide is more important. You want odds or evens?
Oh, let's do it the way we always do it.
All right. They seem to be interested in you.
Cool.
For the time being, those two gargoyles are ignoring the two orcs that are treading water in the moat,
Yep.
and they're coming towards you.
That is nice. Nice. I don't know if they're armored.
The orcs?
Yeah.
They're wearing probably some sort of studded leather, possibly.
That'd be awfully hard to swim in.
They're staying afloat for the moment. You suspect that this is, well, they can't really sink too much because if they sink too much, they fall.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's magic involved here, yes.
Yes.
If I weren't a bird brain, I'd figure it out for
Yes,
sure.
something is keeping them relatively afloat.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so if we're just waiting there and we're waiting for the gargoyles to come to us, we probably should roll initiative.
All right. I was just like, the thing is they haven't done anything aggressive yet, so I wasn't gonna, escalate this, but that's fine.
Well, they're coming in towards us. You at this point. They don't know I'm here yet.
All right. Initiative.
I think I finally found something. I roll better initiative then.
You said I have a +3 dex?
Yes.
I have initiative of 21.
All right.
What'd you get?
I have a 15. And the gargoyles have a 7.
You're not allowed to be, ahead of the monsters. It's just not right.
Well, that seems to be the case here.
All right. I'm gonna kick you off.
Yeah.
And
All right. So, what hit point total do you have as a giant eagle?
just 26.
All right. And you have 100 and how many hit points?
Normally 7.
Okay, 7 in brackets, and you have 26 hit points. As a giant eagle, and you are a giant eagle at the moment. So,
Yep.
I have jumped off. I'm still hiding behind you for the time being. That's going to end shortly.
Yeah, especially when I take off.
What are you going to do?
Well, as they come down towards me,
Yeah, your claws bared.
Yep, I see that they're aggressive, and my predator instincts kick in,
Yep.
and single one of them out, and I leap into the air and attack it.
All right, you're going to attack a gargoyle with your talons, I assume.
Yeah, I do. I'm not sure if I have a multi-attack. I should write more of this stuff down.
I will bring up a giant eagle here. You do have a multi-attack. You can make an attack with your beak and your talons if you want.
And I'll do so.
All right.
+5 to hit.
Yep.
The smallest number is a 17.
All right. So the 17 hits, and
The other one's 22.
all right. Both those attacks hit a creature made of stone.
Yeah, it's probably gonna give me a headache. So this
Roll damage. So
I know it's a D6 +3 for the beak.
yeah, and 2d6 +3 for the talons.
For 15 points of damage.
All right. So as you parry it with your beak and your claws, first of all, some pain goes through your own natural weapons as you use them against a creature that is made of solid stone.
Yeah.
And it weathers the assault very well and takes only half as much damage, unfortunately.
Ah.
So 15 halves to 7.
Yep.
Appear to be resistant to piercing and slashing damage that you suspect from non-magical weapons, which your talons and beak unfortunately are in this form.
Yep, even though I got here by magic.
Yep, your form's methods of attack are not magical in nature.
So I did a flyby, and I'm gonna go back because I have a lot of movement. And I'm gonna land back on parapet.
Alright, you will probably be taking attack opportunity to leave.
That's fine.
Alright, so the gargoyle that you pummeled with your claws
Yep.
takes a swing with its claw at you as you leave.
I have an AC of 13.
That's exactly what it rolled.
Cool. Taste of how much damage these things do.
Okay, wow, and you take max damage on that hit.
Alright, which is?
8. You feel
Alright.
more pain as razor-sharp stone claws tear into your flank as you leave.
Alright.
And you feel the dripping of blood.
It's not real.
Yeah.
I know.
Never
Well,
let you feel the pain, it feels real.
Yes, I'm gonna land on the parapet beside you, but I have to wait till next turn to stop being an eagle.
Yeah. Right. So,
You're up.
my turn! Well, I saw that happen.
Yeah. They're not friendly.
No. I also saw that your claws and beak had very little effect on them.
Yes. Well, it's not like you're gonna go and kick them.
No. I wasn't thinking of whacking them with my staff.
You have a magic dagger.
I do. I think they're further away than that.
Yeah.
So, this seems like a good opportunity to try something new.
Something new.
Yes. Alright. I bring up my hand outwards and I speak a spell, and a very icy blue glow surrounds my hand, but as opposed to the cloud of frostbite I've conjured, a freezing cloud of frostbite I've conjured before, a blue ray streaks from my hand as I cast my new cantrip I got for reaching 10th level, Ray of Frost. And I'm going to, for the first time, aim at the injured gargoyle and try and hit it with a spell attack.
You haven't done this in so long.
I know.
It's a D20 now.
Yes, I know. That is cocked. And I roll a natural 1.
Oh, this is too funny.
Before that, it was nearly a 16. Which definitely would have hit. Because I'd be adding 10. So, the first time you've seen me actually cast this spell, it just unleashes a little spray of frost in the air. I seem to have gotten the spell wrong.
Well, I'm not sure what the laughter of an eagle is, but that's what you're hearing right now.
I imagine it sounding relatively close to what a crow laughing sounds like, or cawing, possibly.
Yeah. Alright. I'm rolling on the parapet.
They know I'm here now. I rolled a natural 1. That's so sad.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm glad it was only a cantrip. It didn't actually cost me anything.
Oh, yeah, this is fine. It's just, I know for the entire campaign, you've always been against using
spell attack rolls for that exact reason.
Yep.
But I thought I'd pick up a cantrip because, well, cantrips are always all or nothing.
Yeah.
Alright, so the gargoyles now realize they have 2 targets.
Yep.
I'm not gonna roll. They have orders. One's hitting at you, one's hitting at me.
Okay.
They can't make it to us because they're within 60 feet range for the spell.
Yeah.
So, the one on you is going to...
Well, he's attacking a prone target because I'm rolling around laughing.
Alright, you're giving him advantage on this roll.
Okay. That was just too funny.
As he makes a multi-attack with both his claws.
Alright.
$13
That hits.
and 15.
They both hit.
Yep.
How much did I take last time?
8. Plus 9 more from these 2 attacks.
Okay. That's 17 damage I've taken as an eagle.
You're at 9 hit points.
Yep.
Alright. And now the one on me, who does not have advantage.
These are not very powerful creatures.
That's a 6. And that's a 13, which does hit my armor class, which is currently 13, because I haven't had time to cast Mage Armor yet.
You feel like shielding yourself.
Well, you just said they don't seem to be doing much damage, so no. I think I'll let this one go through. Oh, it rolls another max damage again.
Keep in mind, I'm not saying anything. I'm just laughing and rolling.
I am seeing this level of damage you're taking, though.
Yeah.
So I take 8 damage, which is the most damage they can inflict on a single attack. But apart from that, isn't too much. They are also now melee with us.
Okay.
Your turn. Your eagle form has taken a beating, but you're fine.
Yep. I stopped concentrating on that spell.
All right.
That's my action, I assume.
Does your feature require you to do that?
I don't know. This is a new thing.
Yep, bear with us while we adjust to this new ability. Because if it's like a spell, you can just it lets you cast the spell, right?
Yes.
Then no, you can drop that as for free.
Oh, all right.
It doesn't cost you anything.
I will revert to myself then.
Yes. All right. This takes the gargoyles mildly by surprise.
That only mildly surprises them.
They're creatures made of stone.
That's true. Have a rock for a brain. All right, I don't see these things as much of a threat currently. So
They've not taken much damage themselves yet.
I am going to. I'm going to use a meta magic point,
Okay.
and I'm going to twin cast. I do have an extra one because I haven't cast this spell in a while. All right, I'm going to twin cast a first level spell.
Okay. Which I do believe just costs you a single meta magic point. Which does cost you a single meta magic point, so yes, that works.
Yep. And I'm going to twin cast Chromatic Orb.
Okay. You are in melee with this creature.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a disadvantage, but I have 2 shots,
Yeah.
so I assume I might hit with one of them.
Alright, so you take out your diamond, you
Yep.
conjure 2 orbs of magic energy you're going to fling at this thing. What energy are you setting it to?
Alright. Now that I've got my brain back, do I know anything about gargoyles?
Roll an Arcana check as your bonus action.
15?
15, yeah. Alright, well, with that roll, I assume you're trying to remember some of their defenses.
Yeah, they resistant to any kind of...
So these are elemental creatures.
Yeah.
You know that. They are made out of living stone. And as such, they are definitely resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks that are not made with adamantine weapons.
That doesn't have anything to do with us.
And they are also immune to poison, and being poisoned, they are tireless, so they cannot be exhausted, and because they are made of living stone, they cannot be petrified.
So, it doesn't matter.
Not for that roll, as far as you know.
I'll stick to my favorite, which is fire.
Alright, you throw 2 chromatic orbs of fire at them. And drop the die on the floor by the looks of it.
Yeah, and a disadvantage on both. So with disadvantage, the first one is an 18.
That hits? I assume you're aiming for the injured one.
Yep.
Okay.
And with disadvantage, the second one is a 16.
Also hits.
Alright.
So that's 3d8 fire damage twice.
68, here we come. Tobias really made a mess of my dice, I tell you.
He was helping.
He was helping.
Or he was just playing.
He was helping.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. 68. A first level spell.
Yep. Well, 2 first level spells.
That's 10. 25 points of fire damage
Total?
total.
Alright. You hurl the 2 crimson chromatic orbs at it.
Yep.
And they explode like mini fireballs on it.
Yep.
Scorching it quite well. Despite being made of stone, this creature does not seem to have any form of protection against fire. At least not of magical nature.
Yep.
And you see cracks forming in its stone structure from that. Took a fair bit of damage from that.
Well, 25 points of damage is 25 points of damage.
Yep.
Alright, so is that minus... It's down 32 hit points.
Yep.
And... Nothing else I can do.
Yeah, you used your bonus action for the Arcana check.
Yeah. I don't have many bonus action things anyway.
Alright. We come to my turn now.
Yep.
So, we each now have one of these things on us.
Yes.
So that probably means going for a ranged spell attack is a bad idea. Since I just rolled really badly.
Well, you can redeem yourself.
I could. Unfortunately, I also could probably want to cast a protective spell at this point. Well, we need to deal with these things, and they're right on top of us, so we should. Tactics tells me we should deal with that first.
All right.
Okay. Well, as a bonus action, I'm going to roll my own Arcana check.
Okay. Maybe it's weak to something.
No, but I do have a pretty good idea now that it's probably it's probably still a better idea to go with a saving throw spell as opposed to trying to hit this thing at melee range. So I'm going to hit it with Frostbite.
Okay.
And that's a failure with a 14.
Yeah, you have a very high spell save DC. Which one are you going for?
That's a good question. I do have one on me, which is the uninjured one.
Yep.
But I think we should try and take out one of these. It's just standard tactics for us at this point to try and focus on a single enemy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So I deal 7 more damage to the one that you've been beating on.
Yep.
So after the blasts of fire, an intense blast of cold strikes it in the back, and you see ice crystallize around its wings and its shoulders and its arms, hampering it slightly. One of them will have disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Okay.
Which is about to happen now.
Okay.
So, yeah, the one on you first. It's wings with both its claws again at you.
First one's disadvantage.
Yep. That's an 8 total.
It's a miss without any aid whatsoever.
So it's a wide swing, but it manages to shatter the ice that solidified around its back, and it goes for the other swing without disadvantage. And that's a 22 to hit.
I'm gonna do this because I haven't done it yet.
What's...
I am going to trigger the new ability on my Ring of Protection.
Alright, so you're going to use it to cast Shield.
I'm gonna cast Shield, which brings my armor class up to 19 until the next turn.
Yeah, which means this is still a hit.
Yep. But I gain 10 temporary hit points.
You do, because you're 10th level.
Yep.
Alright. And right off the bat, this gargoyle shaves 5 of those temporary hit points away.
Alright.
Its claw goes through the field of arcane energy as you bring it to cast the shield, but there's a secondary field which coats you more like my mage armor does, and the claw rips into that, and you feel it flicker on your form, but it adheres itself to you.
I make a rude gesture at the look.
That's the rude gesture used as part of the semantic component to cast the shield spell with the ring.
There you go. Alright.
Now for the one on me.
Yep.
That's a miss. And that's a natural 1.
These things are not terribly dangerous.
Not thus far. There are still at least 3 more of these things.
True.
And we can tell at this point that the way they're behaving definitely means that they are following something's or someone's instructions.
Yes, I want to know. There's more to come for sure.
Yeah. We come to you. So,
Right.
Your shield spell ends, but you still have this field of shimmering abjuration magic around you for the time being.
I'm looking at this gargoyle. How badly off does it look?
With the claws in the beak didn't do much, but with the blasts of magical fire and frost, there are serious cracks forming in this thing.
Right. I don't think I'm going to waste any spells on this thing.
It doesn't have any blood, but it's definitely bloodied.
Alright. I'm going to try and firebolt this thing.
Alright, you're still in melee range with it.
Oh. That would be a 10.
Alright, you bring up your wand to unleash the firebolt. It just bats your hand a little bit. It just singes off one of its wing, the tip of its wing, but does no damage.
Yeah. Oh well.
That's the downside to, unfortunately, doing ranged spells in melee.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just I don't want to waste too much on this thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be that dangerous, but And also, we do have to end this combat at some point in time.
Yes. We do also know the fact that there are still 2 orcs treading water down there, and there are at least 3 more gargoyles who are probably coming back for them at some point, and possibly us.
Yeah. Okay. Um,
My turn.
we only have a bonus action left, so nothing else I can do.
All right. All right. Let's see. What did I do here? Yes, I have the same opinion you are. These things don't seem to be too much of a threat to us at this point, but we also don't want to drag this out too much.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
All right. I feel like we shouldn't waste too many spells on these things, though. I'm going to hit it with another frostbite. Same one. Try and bring yours down. Then we can turn this into a 2-on-1 fight.
Yeah, one of us can get out of melee.
Yes. Okay. I rolled the wrong die, but that's perfectly fine. That's only a 10.
Okay.
And that's a full 12 points of damage
All right.
for my frostbite cantrip. So I send a thicker and more freezing cloud at it this time, and lots of ice forms around this thing. For a second you think it's almost frozen solid, but it is still moving and cracks are forming, but whatever magic is animating this thing or binding it to this plane is almost been stuffed out by all the damage. It's starting to take the form of actual stone again for a few moments before it resumes motion. It's on death's door.
Yeah, it's taking 51 points of damage.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is still around, so it is still its turn.
Yep.
So disadvantage on the first swing against you,
Yep.
because extraplanar creatures do not take the same level of interest in self-preservation on our plane of existence.
Yep.
Well, apparently it's unhappy because that's a 19.
Okay.
Oh, that's another. This D6 has rolled quite a few sixes.
Okay.
So that's another 8 points of damage, 5 of which your temporary hit points protect you from, and then the remaining 3 come out of your hit points.
And down to 104.
Yep. And now that it's shattered the ice restraining it, going for its other claw.
Yep.
And rolls a natural 1. It slips on the shattering ice.
Okay.
That's 2 natural 1s these things have rolled.
Yeah.
And now for the one on me, which will probably roll a natural 20.
There you go. There you do.
That's a 10. That's a miss.
Yep.
And that's a 21.
Hey, there you go. You're finally hit.
And I take 7 more points of slashing damage from this claw. Well, I said, this isn't fun, but we've had worse.
How much damage you taken total so far?
I believe it was 15 in total. I'm down to 79 hit points.
All right.
All right. Top of round 4. This fight's gone on a while.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
We've had boss fights that have gone this long.
Yeah.
Your turn.
All right. I am going to point my wand of magic missiles at it, and I will discharge 1 charge at it.
Okay. I assume at the really damaged one.
Yeah, one on me. For 11 points of damage.
All right. So, you bring up your wand of you pull out your wand of magic missiles. You unleash the 3 darts at it, and there's barely any resistance as they all blast through this thing's torso and shatter it to pieces on the ground.
All right. So, am I in melee with the one that's on you?
No.
All right. I'm gonna move off just a bit so that even if it maneuvers,
Yeah.
it can't get us both at melee at the same time.
All right, that's easy enough for you to do. You can tell looking at this thing that it's undamaged. We haven't done anything to it yet.
Yeah. Now we gotta start accumulating close to 60 points of damage.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. You're up.
My turn. All right. Let's try and give this one disadvantage to hit me now. That is still a failure.
Cool.
These things are hardy, but not hardy enough, it seems. All right. Well, I just took 10 of its hit points off with frostbite.
Yep.
And more ice solidifies around it.
Okay.
All right. I don't feel like taking an attack of opportunity and consuming that disadvantage, though, for this next hit.
Okay.
It does not seem to care too much the fact that you destroyed the other one. It's still focusing on me.
Right.
Well, that's a miss. And that's a total of 20.
Oh.
And that's another 7 points of damage. This is starting to add up, though.
Yes, it is. Remember, we don't heal as easily anymore.
I know. All right. Top of round 5. Your turn. This thing is pummeling me a little bit.
Yeah, now that I'm not melee anymore, I am going to use my second meta magic point.
Yep.
But I am going to use it for a cantrip.
Okay, so you're twin casting Firebolt, I assume.
Yes. Let's see if I can do a bunch of damage to this thing.
Well, that's 2 attack rolls without disadvantage this time, at least.
Yep. There's a 13 hit it.
No, that will miss.
Okay, I'm going to use a point of luck.
So we roll that attack roll, okay?
There's an 18 hit.
Yes.
And the other one's a 19, so.
So they both hit.
Alright, this rolls
So,
that.
using your uncanny luck, you are able to throw off 2 darts of fire at it.
Oh! 1 and a 2. 16 total points of damage.
Alright.
That is terrible.
Alright, well, one of the darts is much punier than the other, but they both hit. And similarly to when you did your chromatic orb, though not as effective, magical fire seems to hurt it quite well.
Yep.
Alright. My turn. Well, the disadvantage is helping. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's not going to. That's a total of 21 on the saving throw this time.
Oh.
Rolled well enough this time, unfortunately.
That had to happen eventually.
Yeah. Alright, the gargoyle's turn. Get to roll an intelligence check for this thing, or a morale check, I guess.
They don't have morale.
Well, it does have intelligence and is following orders. Oh. So that's a total of 10. However, it is now aware that it is being hit from 2 directions.
Yeah.
So I am going to give it roll to see who it's going for. You still want odds?
Oh, well, that's what we always do.
Nope. Apparently, laziness is winning out over pain. It's gonna keep swinging at me.
Okay.
All right, that's a total of 17. This time I will use my reaction to cast Shield,
Yep.
which will bring my armor class up to 18. So
Yeah.
I bring my hand up, and the dome of unseen arcane force forms, and the claw grazes off of it as it ripples blue like the surface of the pond. That same abjuration energy I conjure all the time.
Yep.
The second swing is lower at a 15.
Okay. Yeah, you've taken enough damage.
Yeah, that was worth a single spell, I think.
Yeah.
Your turn.
All right. I've had inspiration forever and I never use it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we both have inspiration at this point.
And I'm using my inspiration point,
All right.
and I'm going to firebolt this thing.
So you're rolling at advantage with a single spell, okay?
That's a 1 and a 3.
Well, that was a complete waste of inspiration.
I'm all gonna luck here. I know I said I would never do this, but I'm going to.
Okay. So I think you only get one roll, I'm afraid.
I know. And it's into the 20s.
All right. So you are hitting with this firebolt, but you use so many things to
Everything.
Yeah. Roll high.
For a total of 10.
All right. That's fairly high.
A 1 and a 19 and a 9.
Yep.
Alright, that's it. Next round, I am pulling out actual spells.
Cantrips are helping here.
My bonus action,
Yep.
I want to look around and see how the others are faring with transferring the orcs to wherever they're taking them.
Roll a perception check at disadvantage because we are in combat.
Oh, now I roll really well. I rolled a natural 20 and a 17.
The other gargoyles have not returned yet. The orcs are still in the water. They can't seem to get themselves up on either of the banks. They don't seem to understand how to grasp onto cloud to pull themselves up.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. But they haven't drowned, and they haven't been carried off yet.
Okay. I'm going to keep my eyes open while as best I can.
From that check, you can also tell that this thing has taken a fair bit of a beating. It's in a similar state to the previous one was a few rounds ago.
Yep.
We're winning.
Yeah, it's just pathetic.
Yeah, alright. Seeing the frustration on your face and the frustration on my face, I think I'm going to take a similar page from your book and not worry about attack rolls or saving throws, and go for a classic that does not care for any of those. I cast Magic Missile at 2nd level.
There you go.
And I rolled 2 1s.
Good
12
thing this is not
total.
an important battle.
What?
Good thing this is not an important battle.
No. Alright, so not quite as epic and breathtaking when you unleashed all your darts and you blew the thing's torso apart. But all 4 of the darts strike it point blank in the chest, and you see lots of cracks forming all through it, throughout its wings, its torso, and its limbs.
For a total of
12 damage.
Alright, we're getting there.
It's still standing, but as my shield spell flickers out, I'm a little I'm a little annoyed that it's still standing.
Yes.
Alright. You have no... Yep, you don't have morale. You failed the intelligence check from your orders. Odds or evens again.
Yeah, give it the same.
And the same result.
Alright. It's unusual. Usually they go for me.
Well, that's a 12. It's a marginal hit, but my ring of protection just makes it glaze off.
Aren't they wonderful things?
Yeah, and the second hit is even worse.
Alright.
We think we're almost got this thing beat as we come to the top of round 6.
For 2 gargoyles.
The dragon was dead by this point.
Yeah, I know. But we were doing much bigger spells.
Yeah.
That's probably when you conserve spells. That is a 9 point one trigger for my wand of magic missiles.
All right. So after my magic missiles send cracks through its entire facade, and it misses, you bring up your wand and you release 3 more darts, which slam into its back and shatter it, probably pelting me with some shrapnel.
That was sad. That
Yes.
was sad.
So, 2 crumbled and smashed gargoyles are strewn out on this parapet that we are standing on here.
Yep.
On this castle in the clouds.
Yep.
And the quiet dies down because the combat probably did, given our surroundings, sound a little bit like thunder, possibly.
Yeah, it echoed around here quite a bit.
Yeah.
Want to go to the edge and survey.
All right. Roll a perception check with my assistance.
Ugh. 9.
All right. As I join you, I pull out the refilling potion flask and drink that.
Yep. And
So,
regain
7 hit points. So I undo one of the last injuries that the gargoyles did to me, which is something.
Yeah, you're only down
And
18
I
now.
will return the flask to my bag of holding and replace that with a standard healing potion for
Right.
future use, since we're not in combat.
Yeah.
All right, so you rolled a 9.
Yeah.
Well, you see the orcs.
Yep.
I should roll for them. One of them has managed to make it to the outer bank and is currently helping his friend out.
There you go. Go orcs.
There's no sign of the other 3 gargoyles at the moment.
All right.
And all of the combat seems to have convinced the harpies to not come or investigate. You think you see a few of them peeking their heads out from their nests. And they might be looking in the direction of, you're not sure if looking in the direction of the castle, us, or the orcs, but they're looking in this general direction. They might be weighing this out. Clearly, the harpies are not quite as brave combatants as the gargoyles were.
Yeah, don't blame them.
They are creatures of flesh and blood in this plane of existence. So if they die here, if they die, they die. Whereas the gargoyles just go back to the elemental plane of Earth.
All right. Is there a way into this building?
Well, the gargoyles went into, basically, if you look past this tower here, there's this opening.
Here?
Yeah, they flew in there.
Okay.
We might be able to get in that way.
I will try and find a way in.
It's higher up than where we are currently standing on, so we'll have to get up there somehow. Or we could attempt to try and get in through the gate with the drawbridge and the portcullis.
Well, first things first. I walked over here to have a look around.
Yeah.
Saw those guys getting out. I'm going to walk over to this side and look down.
All right, you look down.
Yep.
You see basically like there's almost like a roof, or in this case, a flooring, but you suspect it's the roof of something inside the castle.
Okay.
It doesn't go quite down to the ground. There's no obvious way of entry there.
Go around to the backside here, looking for a way in. There has to be a way in. Oh, sorry, a way out onto the battlements
Yes.
or something. So I'm going to look for whatever that door might be.
That tower is the most likely place.
So I'm going to go look for a door.
All right. Roll another perception check with my assistance.
12.
All right. Well, the good news is doors are not usually hidden.
No.
So we
You have
see
to be able to get there.
So we see 2 doors attached to this tower.
All right.
It's a 4-sided tower.
Yep.
So the sides that are currently visible, like to us visually on the map. So
Yep.
this side and that side have no door. The other 2 sides do. So towards the back, there's one on the level we are on, which leads into this tower. And on the 4th side, for the upper battlement, there is another door, which we cannot get to.
All right. Go to the door.
Here's the first thing that now we actually start to realize about this door and the rest of this castle, the scale.
Okay.
It's much bigger than we are.
Okay. There's giants in here. They should be, golden geese or whatever they were. Are they golden colored eggs in those nests?
Those are harpies. As far as you know, they do not lay golden eggs.
I didn't even know harpies laid eggs at all. Okay. Go to the door.
Yes. Um, the door, like the handle or the knob of the door, is about a foot taller. Sorry, about 2 feet taller than we are. 2 feet higher
The
up.
handle for the door, which is usually mid-range on a door,
Yeah, is
is
2 feet above our heads. Actually, it might looking at the distance, could even be three.
okay. There's no way with our puny little arms that we're going to be able to open a door that's more than twice our height.
I do have a knock scroll.
That only unlocks them. It doesn't open them. We
Hmm.
still have to actually physically open the bloody door.
I've seen campaigns where the spell does open doors.
Really?
I'm pretty sure there's nothing in the spell that says that. I think it is just an unlocking spell.
Yeah, it just unlocks doors. Yeah. Well, short of burning a big spell,
Yep.
this is not a way in for us.
No, unless you want to turn into a giant ape. Which even then, there's no guarantee this door isn't locked.
No. Um, there's no way I have to get in this building short of breaking this door down, basically, with some sort of big spell.
All right. It's at this point while we're contemplating how we're getting this door open, we hear the returning sound of flapping of wings.
So these are the gargoyles coming back.
Yes, the three ones that carried off the remaining two orcs are coming out.
Okay. What I want to do then,
They
because
spot the orcs,
yeah,
and the three of them are now in pursuit.
okay, what I want to do because they're going this way now.
Yeah,
While we're back here, I want to go over to where um, the this parapet comes meets the tower.
yeah. There's stairs leading up to it.
Yep. Oh, we can actually take stairs up there.
There are yes,
Okay. I head up the stairs, and I
yes,
want to look in here and look down into what I assume is the central courtyard.
yes. There is a courtyard there,
Yep.
and there appears to be, well, not really an open door, but a window that's open,
Yep.
and we hear the sound of laughter from there, and some other less pleasant sounding noises, and we smell burning firewood. And it looks like we may have found a way into this castle.
Okay. Well, there are lots of little protuberances of stone here and the crenellations.
Yes.
Take one of the elvish ropes,
Yep.
tie it to one of them, lower it down to where
The
this window,
window is, I assume.
and climb down.
All right. As we climb down towards the window, we can hear the sounds of the orcs scream as the gargoyles capture them.
Okay.
And if this is indeed the area which they came out of, they'll probably be coming back this way, so we don't have much time.
Okay.
However, this is a good spot for us to take our break.
Just before the next check.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll be back here in a few minutes.
Or a week.